Hello and welcome to Channel VW. In our first issue we look at news from the VW scene around the world, feature this 67 Daily Driver, a 52 split window belonging to Jeff Caton, Richie King's stunning 356 Carrera, Roger Beasley's 56 Oval, and the billet-laden and very trick 73 of Billy Haggis. We have an interview with Paul Miller, driver of the micro-giant VW drag car, and a chat with Tim Barnes about the VW Spring Festival. In Shop Talk we visit Carman Connection, and in InScale we look at the Dinky range of VW models. In print we review some of the books and magazines available to the VW enthusiast, but first of all, Channel VW news and products.
One of the hottest news items at the moment is the discovery in Germany of an Aladdin's cave of old new stock, dating back over 50 years. One of the first UK companies to visit on a buying trip is Carman Connection of Hadley in Essex. Examples of the lines filtering out from Germany include this 50s gas pedal, which was a replacement for the roller pedal found on early cars. A custom trim part from the early 60s is this tailpipe joiner from Hapik. It's for post-55, 1200, 1300 and 1500 models. It's even colour-coded if you happen to own a blood red Beazle. And from Gabel comes a number plate light and housing with twin reversing lights. This fits 1960 to 1966 models. News from the land of the rising sun, the production of a replica BRM wheel from Japan's leading VW company, Flat 4. The Speedwell BRM wheel was the wheel to own for cow-look enthusiasts. It was made in the UK between 1966 and 1969. Keen for an interesting story, the next issue of Channel VW will include the start of our search for the original moulds. The more impatient amongst you can rush £1,066.13 plus shipping, import duty and VAT to Flat 4 in Japan. Our event news this issue looks at Detling VW Festival, of which more later, Volksfest at Avon Park, the VW Spring Championships at Santa Pod, and the Carousel Soleil to the Super VW Nationals near Paris. And finally, if you have any news or products for future issues of Channel VW, the number to call is coming up.
"1952 saw the official end of World War II in the Pacific, a new Queen of England and a new President, Dwight Eisenhower, in the US. Also in '52, over 100,000 proud owners are introduced to their new Volkswagen Beetles. 40 years later, in the case of this particular car, it has a proud owner once again, Jeff Caton. Jeff is a long-time VW enthusiast who also owns an immaculately restored Oval. This all-original car is his most recent acquisition. From over Jeff's shoulder, we have a great view of the simple, harmonious interior. Compared to the step-inside of my jukebox styling of contemporary American cars, the interior of Jeff's 52 is all good craftsmanship and valve radio. Externally, the body trim on this car sets this deluxe model apart from its standard sedan counterpart, which was devoid of the waistline chrome, just like many modern-day cowlookers. The absence of bright metal trim around the rear split window confirms that the car is a pre-October 52 example. A very desirable feature on Jeff's car is this full-length Goldie sunroof, ideal for experiencing the wind in your hair without the accompanying bugs in your teeth. 1952 was the final year for this type of hood ornament, and semaphore indicators meant that a single red lens was all that was required by way of tail lights. The W deck lid with Pope's Nose number plate light opens to reveal just over 1100 cc's of pure power. Well, actually somewhere in the region of 30 horsepower, if the ravages of time and previous owners have not been too unkind. And from the look of this engine bay, the car should be good for another few 100,000 miles or so yet. Window stickers indicate that a previous owner was a member of the now disbanded VW Split Window Club, and front bumper mounted badges include a period AA item, a Cologne crest and a historic Volkswagen Club badge. The bonnet insignia, generally referred to as the Wolfsburg crest, is more properly known as the City Arms. And, well, I think that's enough from me. Just sit back and lose yourself a little in Jeff Caton's own bit of VW history.
Hello, I'm pleased to introduce Tony Parsons from VW Models in Kettering, Northamptonshire. Hello, Tony.
Hello.
And Tony's come along with a wonderful selection of models, spanning about 40 years, I believe, from the pre-war Auto Union right and through to the currently available 1951 Beetle. Tony, could we run through a few of the models we've got here today?
Yes, certainly.
This, of course, is the earliest, being the Auto
That's
Union.
Right. That model is actually a post-war model, but Dinky introduced that model in 1936. And it continued through then until 1951, apart from a break during the Second World War when they weren't producing models for material shortages.
Right, so all of these models are obsolete.
That's right,
And
yes.
they're all about at least 20 years old.
That's right.
Right. So the second oldest model that we have today is this one, I believe, which is the,
Yeah.
how do you pronounce it, the oval
Beetle.
window.
Yes, that was introduced by Dinky Toys in 1956. The original cost price was 2 shillings and sixpence, and it carried on in production until the early 60s with a few minor variations, such as dished wheels.
Dished
You may
wheels.
see on the later version there, the metal wheels rather than the cast wheels.
Oh yeah.
And that, as I say, that continued through to the mid-60s. A mint and boxed one of those today would fetch 55 to 65 pounds.
Right. Oh dear. Right, and we can see that these have been, Dinky's now been bought by Matchbox.
That's right,
Is
yes. Dinky went into receivership in the mid-70s, but because the name is so well known, it was immediately bought by Matchbox Toys.
So did they buy the materials, all the casts?
They bought everything to do with Dinky Toys at that time, yeah.
Right.
And it lay dormant on the shelf until about 4 years ago when Matchbox reissued the Dinky label.
Right.
And one of the first models to appear again was the Beetle.
The 1951, is it?
Yeah, that's right. Now, these are interesting because they're the collector's items of the future. The pale blue Beetle is now discontinued.
And this was produced when?
This was produced from about the middle of 1988.
1988.
And 100,000 of them were made worldwide, and then production ceased. And that vehicle was then replaced with a colour variation.
Oh, so this is now
The black one.
this is worth quite a lot more money than that one.
That's
would be
right.
now.
The pale blue one now is worth more than the black one. The pale blue one tends to go for about 10 or 11 pounds now, against the original purchase price of about £5.99. Interestingly, the black one will be ceasing production this year, and it's going to be reissued in red, and that is the final colour. After the production run of the red ones,
So really and
they'll
truly,
stop
if
all
anybody
production.
can find a copy of these, they should, if they're interested to
They're
build
worth
up
buying.
a collection,
They're
worth buying.
Yes, they're worth buying from a collection point of view. They're also worth buying from an investment point of view.
Interesting to see the Kubelwagen, I believe it's called,
That's right. Yes. If I can just put that on the
podium there.
podium. That's yes. Dinky Toys manufactured that from early 70s to mid 70s.
And everything about that is Beetle,
it's basically
apart from the body.
that's right. It's a military adaptation using the original Beetle chassis and engine.
Right. You've got quite a few models here of the Beetle. Could you run through a few of them for us?
Yeah,
And
sure.
explain the differences?
Well, apart from that original one that I told you about, the 1956 issue,
Right.
that really stayed in production. That was the oval, yeah. Until it was replaced in the early 60s by, if you've got one,
A loose one there.
by that one. Now this is when they were starting to get a little more technical.
Yes, I was going to say the details are changing there. You can
Rather
see
than
it's a
just
lot
being
more.
a cast body, it started to go for jewelled headlamps, opening bonnet, opening doors. And that stayed in production really until Dinky went into liquidation.
That was mid-70s.
Having said that, these also command good prices because from a play value, that was quite nice. But in play, it used to get the doors knocked off. So again, to find a good one it is quite rare, and they're worth a lot of money. The other interesting one is this, which was a limited promotional run that was done for the Swiss
That's
Post
beautiful,
Office.
isn't it?
Yeah,
The Swiss Post Office. You
Yes.
can see the emblem there from the post office, obviously.
yeah.
Yeah, I like the more intricate models where everything opens
Yes,
and
yeah.
all this. We can also see you brought some Carmen gears here,
Yes, yeah. Now the Carmen gears are interesting
which is
from a collection
which
point
is
of
the
view.
earlier one.
Well,
This
they're both around the same period. They were introduced in 1959.
one. Right.
But that one you've got there was actually made by Dinky Toys of France.
It's an interesting fact.
Yes, and they actually
For
used a
boffins.
different casting to the British one. And I think you can probably see on there the larger air intakes on the French one.
Uh-huh.
The other thing is in the paint finish. The French never quite managed to get the roof painting right, and whenever you see one, it looks as if the roof has been repainted, although in fact it hasn't.
Oh.
The French ones were all red and black, like that one, and the English one came in the two colour variations.
That's an interesting. You can see the slight difference there.
Yeah.
All right. And also, yourselves as Volkswagen models,
Yes.
you swap, sell, and trade all over the world,
That's
I believe,
right,
which is
yes.
quite a unique factor.
Well, it's unique in this country. There are other collectors in the States and in Sweden
you
and
must
Holland
hear
who
from
do a similar
people
thing.
All over the world.
That's right. Yeah, we do.
Right.
We actually had an inquiry from a gentleman in Damascus,
Yeah.
Norway,
That's
Holland.
a country you don't often hear of.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so if anybody would like to get in contact with VW Models, there'll be some telephone numbers coming up on your screen shortly. So if you'd like to get yourself a pen. And is there anything specific that you'd like to talk about? Any of your personal favourites, perhaps, or something?
I think really my personal favourite is going back to the original Dinky Beetle. That's the one I can remember having as a child.
Mhm.
It's actually quite a nice model. The proportions are quite good.
Thank you very much, Tony, for bringing all your models in today. We'll be seeing Tony again on the next issue when we'll be talking about tin plate.
During a business trip to California, Richard King came upon the vehicle that formed the basis for this Carrera race car styled 356. He shipped the car to England, tucked it away in his garage, and there it stayed. A year later, Richard was still undecided about just how to approach the project. Unenthused by the thought of just another restored 356, he knew he wanted something different, he just didn't know what it was. The breakthrough came when Richard saw a race car replica 356 owned by Ronnie Hirsch, and everything dropped into place. The result of that inspired moment is this stunning Carrera racer in Glasurit Astral Silver. The car is built to incorporate all of the traditions of race car styling, but due to Richard's legendary attention to detail and finish, it's a cut above just about any race-going 356 you're ever likely to encounter on the track. The aluminium engine lid, hand-fabricated and louvered by Richard himself, opens to reveal, well, the engine. What did you expect, a spare wheel? Again, a beautifully prepared and detailed feature of the car. Custom-built engine surround panels and Carrera velocity stacks were all made by Richard himself. Richard gave the Channel VW crew a taste of 50s Porsche power. They reported back that around 100 mile an hour, it sounded like World War III's going off inside the car, but what the hell, it's fun. The main reason for the decibels inside the car is an almost total absence of any sound-absorbing material whatsoever. Carpet and trim panels have all been removed in favour of several coats of Glasurit silver paint. In fact, this red leather driver's seat is just about the only thing inside the car which has not been painted. The effect is sublime, but only after hundreds of hours of preparation. An interior like this in a 35-year-old car is far from simple to achieve. The padded dashtop has been removed and panels prepared and painted. Original 356 instrumentation has been retained, and overall the car represents a beautiful marriage of the car's original styling and Richard's applied detailing to give the car the look and feel of a bygone racing era. You kind of get the feeling that James Dean might just have said, nah, I've changed my mind about the RSK. I fancy that 356 coupe, the silver one, over there. And if that would have sounded more convincing in a West Coast drawl, too bad I don't do accents. The car is an absolute star, drawing admiring glances wherever it's shown. Whether or not this is Richard's masterwork remains to be seen, but we hope to bring you the sights and sounds of any new projects undertaken by Richard in future issues of Channel VW.
This is where we take a regular look at all the books and magazines available to you. And the first magazine under scrutiny is Super VW from France. And here's Brett to tell you a bit more about it.
As you say, Anna, Super VW is a French magazine. It's only produced in the French language, although that hasn't affected sales of it in England. It sells very well, mostly because it has very good photography and very high quality printing. It heavily features cow-look cars at the moment, which is very popular in France. It has good technical articles, good historic articles, and overall about 100 pages an issue. It's now monthly, and it sells for about £3.50 an issue. It's a very good magazine.
That's fairly reasonable, isn't it?
Yes, I'm sure it's even better value if you can read every word in it. But no, it is a good, high-quality magazine and well worth seeking out.
Number 2 for today is VW Trends from America. And over to you once more, Brett.
Yep, Trends is a very popular American magazine. It has regular event coverage of USA events and
I presume this one is in English.
This is in English, yes.
Jolly good.
Yes, so the Americans can understand it. It features, again, mostly air-cooled, but a certain amount of water-cooled VWs. Has good technical features again. It often looks beyond the US. This particular issue, which is March, has Derek Day's Schizo Shorty bus, which will be known to many people in England, and in the past Trends has looked at the English scene fairly often, and a lot of the back issues you'll find have got
So
English.
there's a crossover there for...
Yeah, I mean, the English magazines often feature American cars. This magazine in particular does a good job of reaching across to Europe and features cars from Europe. And it's all in all, again, it's the cover price is $2.75, so round about sort of equivalent sort of pound price if you can hunt Trends out. That's again another magazine worth seeing.
Right. Of the 2 books we're looking at today, the first is Volkswagen Bug, The People's Car by Ray Miller, who's an American.
Yes, it's an American publication. It's a very comprehensive book. It takes 100 pages to get to the 1950 model year. It has over 300 pages altogether. It details year-by-year model changes with close-up photographs of any significant changes in the cars from one year to the next. And the price in the UK of $21.95 compares very well to the USA price. It's actually published around about $40 in the States. And as I say, it's a very, very detailed book and worth putting in anyone's library. That's Ray Miller.
And the second is VW Beetle by Clive Prue, an English gentleman, I believe,
Yes,
one of our own.
Yes, this is a book by Clive Prue, or CJ. It has chapters on the early development of the car by Ferdinand Porsche, wartime production, the British years, what happened when the Allies took over the Wolfsburg factory. It details the spread of the Volkswagen around the world, and finally a chapter on variations, mostly factory and coach-built variations, including the Ramesh, Hebmuller, Dannenhauser and Strauss. That's about 100 pages, and that's £9.95. And again, a very worthwhile sort of large format coffee table book. It's a lovely book to own.
Nicely presented too, lovely cover photograph.
Just to prove we're not afraid to get out and about even before the event season gets fully underway, Channel VW cameras visited Brands Hatch on test day for a new circuit racing series for 1992, the Beetle Cup. The Beetle Cup opens a new era in the life of the VW Beetle, the world's most popular car. The Cup is a 10-round racing series for road-going Beetles, visiting 7 of Britain's leading motor racing circuits. We sent Brett along to check it out.
On Brands Hatch Circuit with Sean Hollenby, Big Boys Toys, and he's going to tell us about the Beetle Cup. Sean, the Beetle Cup, is it for any Volkswagen Beetle or?
Well, it must be a road-going car, and it must be a swing-axle Beetle to equalise the performance of them. What they must have as well is a performance kit, which includes various parts, but the main part is the engine, because as most people know, that the main thing that makes them go is the engine. So if that's strictly policed, then it's going to be close racing.
So that's going to be the same for everyone, the engine?
That's right, everybody has the same engine, and it's sealed as well. So a guy with lots of money can't pump money into the series and win the championship just by his chequebook.
Right, so what do I need to go racing myself?
Well, first of all, you need a swing axle Beetle. We've advised most people to go for a 1200 because the gearbox is the lower ratio, which will work on most circuits. After that, you'll need to have the performance kit, which includes everything you'll need to convert the car from road-going spec into a racing spec. After that, you'd need club membership and RAC licence.
And how many rounds are there?
The whole year is 10 rounds, plus the British Bug Prix, which is held on July the 4th and 5th here at Brands Hatch, which is a non-championship event. But the series is over 10 rounds, stretching from sort of down here at Brands Hatch up to Cadwell Park in Louth and also Alton Park up in Chester.
Right. Could you give us an idea of how the cars are prepared?
Right. This car here, which is Jim Gray's car, is lowered one spline at the back, normal way, and also has got sway-away adjusters in the front beam. You don't want to lower it too far, because if you lower the car too far, it doesn't handle very well. So it's about an inch and a half at the front and just the one spline at the back. The shock absorbers are Spax gas adjustable shock absorbers, which stiffen the ride up, and also with the adjustment it means you can soften it up and harden it as you feel to your driving style.
Sean, can we have a look inside the car?
Yeah, sure. As you see, the car is a racing car, so it's stripped to the bare metal. Again, all the seats removed. This seat is the only seat in the car, which is a Kevlar racing seat with a 4-point harness, which is part of the kit.
So if I want to race in the Beetle Cup, I have to buy all these parts?
Well, that's right. They come as the complete package. Well, you'd have to buy them anyway, but if you work out the price of it, it makes it a hell of a lot cheaper to buy it as part of the kit rather than buy it as individual parts.
So I get a car, I'll buy all the bits from you, put the two together and go racing.
And you've got a cheap racing car.
Yeah. And the roll cage is part of the kit?
That's right, yes. This one's only got the 4-point caging. It hasn't got the front caging at the moment, but all the cars racing will have a 6-point cage, which also has side intrusion bars, because on circuit racing, obviously you're racing against a number of different cars, so you have to make it as safe as possible. So the more protection the driver has, the better it is. Apart from that, the car is basically a standard Beetle. The most important thing for the driver's point of view is the rev counter here. You forget about the speedo. You have to have a speedo because all the cars are MOT'd. But the rev counter is the thing that the driver will be looking at most. He needs to keep that car and the engine working within those rev limits.
Great. Do I get a chance to take the car around the circuit?
Definitely. We have to get you out there. Okay, Brett, here's the helmet. If you want to jump in, I'll strap you in and away you go. Right. Well, the belts come up over the shoulder. Okay, with a 4-point harness. The side belts come over here. So if I give you a hand, strap yourself in over the top. Just soften these a little bit.
Another regular feature of Channel VW is Shop Talk, in which we visit VW stores around the country. For this issue, Brett took the Channel VW cameras to Carman Connection of Hadley in Essex, and there he spoke to manager Rob Miller about the products available from Europe's largest stockists of parts for the early Beetle, Carman Ghia and 356 Porsche.
Well, here we are inside Carman Connection. Rob, how long has Carman Connection been operating as a company?
Well, I must be getting into 7 or 8 years by now of the company. About 5 years of that has been like in the retail side. Previous to that, we were just restoring Carman Ghias and Beetle Cabriolets. In the need for like trying to find parts to finish these cars. This is long before anyone was importing parts from the States. Parts just weren't available, and so we sort of got into sort of importing parts from the States and locating rarer parts to pass on. And that retail side has now overtaken the restoration side in terms of business, and it's turned out to be very successful. Obviously, big demand for that.
Could you tell us about some of the rare parts that you have available to the customer at Carman Connection?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, some of the stuff we got quite a lot of, and other things are just one sets of, like the rear lights, for instance, changed, about 7 or 8 times on the Beetle, from the start of production to present day. We've got them like dating from like 1948 up to sort of 61, what are the rarer varieties. There's about 4 different sets. And, I mean, we've got those all in stock. Some are new old stock, other ones are sort of good second hand. Very rare things to get hold of. But most of the bits, we can supply or obtain in the States or Germany. Customers to order. The parts are still around, but they are getting a lot thinner on the ground, so they were 7 years ago when we started. I think the days of the bargains that swap meets are gone, unfortunately.
Nevertheless, if I found a 52 split window in a barn somewhere, and I came to Carman Connection, I'd have some chance of getting a lot of the bits that are missing over the years.
Yeah, I mean, we supply the Split Screen Club with a lot of parts, the Split Screen Beetle, the Historical Club, etc. Parts, all the rubbers and stuff we keep on the shelf. Things like panels would be a problem, but they still turn up, and they're still around at a price. They're going to be quite a pricey item. But the stuff's around, a lot of the repro stuff's getting better all the time. People get more conscious of it as the cars go up in value. People are looking for better products and people are manufacturing to better standards. So it's not really a problem. Those parts are around for the very early cars.
And if next to this 52 split in the barn there was a 67, which I was interested to cow look in the original sense of the word, you have a range of MP performance parts. Now, are these just in the shop as collector's items, or are they for sale? Or
well, I mean, everything's for sale at a price in here, but it's mainly sort of collectible. It's good for people who get into the VW scene. They can come into the shop and they can see all the rare MP parts as well as the rarer Beetle parts. There isn't really anywhere else that you could go and actually see these parts on display. And obviously it is for sale as well. People are restoring them. We have quite a few sort of original sort of cow look parts, mirrors and trim, etc. So recreate an early sort of cow look in the West Coast style rather than what has sort of become accustomed today. Same with wheels, BRMs, etc. They're available, but they are getting very rare.
Oh, thanks, Rob. I'll just go and hunt around a few barns.
Okay. Thanks.
September 1956. Teddy boys are causing havoc in British cinemas, driving in the aisles to rock around the clock. The pace of events in the Suez Crisis is quickening, and the final touches are put to this oval window Beetle, built for the 57 model year and first registered in late 1956. Current owner Roger Beasley bought the car in 1988, in plenty of time to take in the 1991 pilgrimage to Bad Camberg. Looking around the car, to the trained eye, you will spot a multitude of differences from the split-window Beetle of Jeff Caton. To the untrained eye, it's a case of same car, different colour. The most blindingly obvious difference is the rear window, changed in 1953 to improve the driver's rearward vision. As a model year, this car exemplifies the end of the era of the small rear window, the final year to display the beautiful sweeping arcs which gave the engine lid its distinctive W shape. Roger is rightly proud of his car with all its fine period details. It was a sad day for nostalgia freaks when the last car with semaphore indicators was built. Well, I guess that's progress for you. We'll leave you with a final look around Roger's car, including just a peek at one of the period accessories of which he's most proud. Underneath the engine lid lurks every buffer's dream, a genuine hazard toolkit.
In event news, we look at the VW Spring Championships at Santa Pod, Volksfest at Avon Park, the Super VW Nationals at Jablin near Paris, and look forward to Bug Jam 6. But first, we asked Tim Barnes what was in store for visitors to the Detling VW Spring Festival at the County Showgrounds, Detling near Maidstone, Kent, this coming Easter Sunday, April the 19th.
There'll be a very wide range of traders selling goods from vintage parts right through to Cowlook performance parts, magazines, that sort of thing. We'll have an air-cooled concourse, there'll be an auto jumble, cars for sale area, arena events such as bug pull, bonnet push.
Yeah, okay, we'll have some of that.
Yeah, nice one.
The VW Spring Championships has grown to be a firm favourite on the early season calendar for the VW enthusiasts. It has always provided plenty of action and entertainment. The German car company hosts the show at Santa Pod over the weekend of April 11th and 12th. The 1992 event promises to be a bit special, with two VW DRC drag racers looking to put their cars firmly in the 7-second zone for the quarter mile. That equates to 0 to 160 miles per hour in under 8 seconds. Here's an idea of what that might look like. Channel VW cameras will be there to bring you the highlights for issue 2.
Avon Park, near Stratford-on-Avon, is the venue for what looks set to be one of the major shows of 1992, Brian Borough's Volksfest. Held over the Spring Bank holiday weekend, Sunday and Monday the 3rd and 4th of May, Volksfest features a monster swap meet with free pitches for anyone with parts to sell or trade, free display stands for all Volkswagen owners clubs, and a concourse not unlike VW Action or Stamford Hall events, with classes for every conceivable type of Volkswagen, from original to Cowlook. We are also pleased to note the absence of discos, inflatable skateboarding dinosaurs or juggling hypnotist stilt walkers.
How many VW enthusiasts will it take to fill a cross-channel ferry? We've no idea either, but we expect to find out on May the 29th, when British enthusiasts travel to the Super VW Nationals at Jablin near Paris. Details of travel arrangements to visit France's largest VW show will be coming up at the end of this segment. It's expected that over 1,000 people will take part this year, making the Cruise au Soleil the world's largest international cruise.
And talk of the world's largest leads us on to the final event to be previewed in this issue, the 6th annual UK Bug Jam. The show has had many high and a few low points over the years, but has matured into a major event which attempts to provide something for all VW enthusiasts. And Bug Jam 1992 really is an enthusiast show, with a prime billing for the show and shine featuring the Europe's Most Beautiful VW trophy, a coveted annual award for the best of show since the inception of Bug Jam in 1987. Cars from all over the country are polished and pampered, reaching new levels of perfection each year. The date is June the 20th, 21st. The venue, Santa Pod, Poddington, Bedfordshire. M1, Junction 14.
The Channel VW cameras visited Deepest Essex to... Hold on a minute. That's not Billy Haggis in his 73 Cowlooker. Aha, there he is, Low and Lilac.
If you think that building a car with parts from about a dozen model years and making well in excess of 100 significant changes is a recipe for disaster, you might be surprised that this 73 built by Billy Haggis is a result of just such a formula. True, at first glance it is easily mistaken for another clean, run-of-the-mill Cowlook Beetle. But from its Firestone-shod Porsche 356 steel wheels to its de-seamed VW Milka Violet roof, this car is something special. In the space available before the end of the feature, we'll try and tell you about as many of the modifications as we can. Anna.
Bumpers, bolt holes welded up, smoothed out and re-chromed. Bumper brackets, seams welded and smoothed out. Front valance, holes welded up, cable feed modified.
Bonnet, handle removed, holes welded up, catch welded in place. Bonnet catch mounted from back of valance and modified. Bonnet release, electric, motor driven.
Bonnet hinges, billet alley. Bonnet springs, springs replaced with gas rams. Bonnet seal, removed and smoothed out.
Petrol tank, pre-67, painted and detailed. Brake fluid chamber, pre-67, pipework and chamber hidden. Washer bottle, hidden.
Washer nozzle, modified. Wiring cover, painting and detailed. Wiring, hidden where possible.
Front lights, pre-67, horn grills, headlight mounts welded and smoothed out. Headlights, pre-67 US spec. Headlight rings, adjustment screws welded in place, mounting bracket repositioned, smoothed out and re-chromed.
Headlight buckets, indicator units and seams smoothed out, adjustment spaces reduced and ends radiused. Horn, 1962 NOS Hella chrome dressed. Horn bracket, custom made.
Front beam, adjusters welded in, painted and detailed. Shocks, shortened conies, front and back. Petrol filler flap, welded up and smoothed out.
Rain channel gutter, removed, welded and smoothed out. Rear side window, half moons, welded and smoothed out. Side trim, removed and mounting holes welded up.
Door handles, removed, mounting holes and finger well welded and smoothed out. Doors, suicide, reverse opening and top corner radius. Door hinges, hidden, rear mounted.
Door catches, moved to front of door and pillar. Door entries, solenoid with remote keypad linked to alarm. Door lock pulls, removed, welded and smoothed out.
Door handles inside, smoothed and painted. Door pull, reshaped, smoothed and painted. Door lock, additional deadbolts, aftermarket.
Door check straps, custom made with billet ends. Window cranks, billet, aftermarket. Quarter lights removed.
Windows, one-piece windows fitted, aftermarket. Window seals, snap-ins. Driving mirrors, removed, holes welded up and smoothed out.
Wing beading, continued around running boards. Rear light housings, reduced in size and aerial mounted in one. Rear light lens, all red, American spec.
Rear light screws, chrome, Allen key headed. Back valance, pre-67, made demountable and smoothed out. Deck lid seal, removed and smoothed out.
Deck lid, car custom W deck lid with wiring hidden. Deck lid hinges, chrome, aftermarket. Deck lid catch, release mounted from back, modified and smoothed out.
Deck lid release, modified. Number plate light, Pope's nose, steel. Engine 1641 Recon with modified internals and heads.
Engine tinware, chrome, aftermarket. Engines hoses, braided steel. Fuel pump, electric, hidden.
Pulleys, polished alley with caps. Heat exchangers, chromed. Firewall, chromed and louvered.
Carbs, twin cadran with custom linkage. Distributor, Bosch 009 with chrome cover. Distributor cap, blue with coloured leads.
Coil, Bosch, blue coil with chrome cover. Front seats fulled, retrimmed. Back seats retrimmed.
Side panels, custom made, retrimmed. Door panels, custom made, retrimmed. Parcel shelf, custom made with hidden speakers and retrimmed.
Seat belts, custom made with grey webbing. Carpets, custom made. Seat mount assembly. Adjusting hump and runners removed. Floating brackets made for support.
Accelerator pedal, billet roller assembly. Pedal covers, billet. Gear shift lock, aftermarket.
Gear shift knob, custom made, billet. Handbrake grip, billet. Steering column, pre-67, column fitted.
Steering column cover, GCC billet look. Indicator arm assembly, 65 polished and grained. Steering column bracket, custom made billet.
Steering wheel, 14-inch billet alley with hidden horn assembly, custom made to own design. Mounting boss, custom made fabricated alley to own design. Speedometer, reshaped to match wheel, internals and face modified.
Speedo dash surround, reshaped to match Speedo. Dash inserts panel, reshaped to reposition to match Speedo. Dash centre welded up and smoothed out.
Glove box handle removed, welded up and smoothed out. Glove box door shortened and reshaped. Ashtray removed, welded up and smoothed out.
Dash knobs, custom made billet repositioned. dash centre air vent welded up and smoothed out, ignition switch pre-67 positioned under dash.
Rear view mirror, custom made billet, sun visors, padded 59 items retrimmed, interior light removed, welded up, smoothed out and hidden.
Alarm sensors hidden mounted in tops of windscreen pillars, headlining retrimmed, headlining rear corner panels reshaped, radius to match front.
Inside panel seams de-seamed where visible, welded and smoothed out where all panels meets. Window rubbers, smooth, cowl look, door rubbers, early German modified.
Threshold seal covers stainless steel, wheels Porsche 356 replicas chrome, tyres Firestones 135 145.
Hubcaps, baby moons, chrome, jacking point covers, bear claws, ride height, lowered adjusters, front trailing arms, repositioned rear.
Paint VW Milka Violet export colour 2-pack with loads of lacquer.
Now go back to the beginning and see how many of the mods you can spot. The Volkswagen drag racing season is about to get underway, so we spoke to Paul Miller, driver for Microgiant, about the coming year. Was their previous car, Prince of Darkness, continuing to be campaigned?
We've decided to put him on the shelf for a while and go with a completely new car, starting from the ground up, still keeping it at a 1600, but getting the weight right down, hopefully to about 700 or 800 pounds, so the power to weight ratio will be a lot greater and will give us much faster times and hopefully put us down in amongst the bigger cars.
And it's interesting to note that most of those bigger cars are considerably over 2 litres, most of your competition.
Yeah.
And the factor with the Microgiant engine is that it is a 1600 or thereabouts, and it manages to stay with much larger engines.
Yeah.
By and
It's, you know, blowing our own trumpet, it's the attention to detail that we like to think makes our engines that bit better than perhaps other people's, and as I say, they live, and you know, we sort of do burnouts at 9 grand and with no serious problems, so that's what wins at the end of the day.
And you're confident that for 1992 you can make it 3 wins in a row?
Well, I don't know about that with a new car. There's a lot of ironing out of problems when you first start, but you never know.
Retro. This feature is a nostalgic look at VW history, folklore, or as for this issue, past events. Remember Bug Jam 88? Channel VW has purchased the rights to previously unedited film taken at Santapod in '88, an event where the sun just didn't stop shining, and the burgeoning interest in the Volkswagen brought thousands of enthusiasts to the venue to enjoy a big event with a growing reputation. The show was first held the previous year, attended by 5,000 people. The '88 event brought enthusiasts from across Europe and the UK with a vast array of cars, including many taking their styling lead from the type of VW common in shows held in the USA. If you were there in '88, you may be here in '92, so sit back and take a look at Bug Jam '88 style.
The final feature car for this issue is a Lotus White 1500 owned by Tim Barnes of Herne Bay in Kent. 2 years ago the car was a basket case in the eyes of everyone but Tim, but undaunted by the task in hand and having sorted through his garage full of NOS 67 parts which he'd collected over the years, Tim set about breathing new life into this once almost terminally ill Beetle, most mechanical parts having to be replaced or rebuilt. This is the fourth 67 Tim has owned and is loaded with many original 67 only features. One of the reversing lights is adapted as a rear fog lamp, using a brake light lens from a barn door Type 2, fitting the housing perfectly. The car is in daily service to the Barnes household, used by Tim's wife. He also owns a 59 which gets prior claim on the only garage space available. It's a perfect example of the type of car Channel VW would like to see submitted by viewers, to include in a viewer's car or daily driver feature. If you think that your car deserves to be given space on Channel VW and you have access to a video camera, shoot your own feature and send it to us. Viewers' cars will be included just as soon as you submit your tapes, so get out there and get filming. If you think your car deserves the full treatment, get in touch. Meanwhile, back to the plot and back to Tim Barnes's pride and joy. Tim's 67 features pop-out side windows, and inside the car there are many more 67 only features and period accessories, including ashtray light, heated rear window and parcel shelf. The car also has a VDO oil temperature gauge, and the dashboard has a 67 trip speedometer and genuine circa 1967 radio. The car has rebuilt and retrimmed seats. New carpets are matched to the original design and fabric. The final job Tim has to complete is the installation of a new replacement headlining. Overall, Tim 67 is a great example of just how good a VW can look, even after 2.5 decades. As long as it stays in the hands of a loving owner, it will continue to look as good as the day it rolled off the production line. In feedback, Channel VW invites viewers to send in their own comments or observations for inclusion in future issues. You may submit material on VHS, VHS-C or Video 8 tapes. And here's 2 tapes from the many already received. Now, would we lie to you?
Albert Penthouse here. No, bloody do it now. Yeah, focus, do focus. You've done it all going, is it? Yeah. Right, Albert Penthouse here. Now, get that, that's right. Are you alright? Yeah. There, see that? Oh, there is it, old Albert Penthouse. Right, you're going to do on them saucy swimwear issues. Because I know there was lots of saucy models in that video of yours, and when I bought it, all there was a 1981 carbon geared dinky model. I asked myself, sort it out, eh?
Dear Channel VW, I want to complain. I've just bought your video magazine and there's no interview in it with Keith Soom. I've got every event video since 1988 and there's an interview in every one. Why haven't you got one? Come on, Channel VW, get your act together. We want Soomy.
For future issues of Channel VW, viewers are invited to submit either videotape or still photographs of cars for sale to Channel VW, 4-6 High Street, Hadley, Essex, SS7 2PB. And yes, Richard King's 356 Carrera is for sale, but if you can't bear to think about the price, please avert your eyes now. Okay, figures off screen. 25 grand!
Come on, boys, let's take a ride in my Volkswagen.
We hope you've enjoyed at least some of the features of the first ever Channel VW. Future issues will be bringing you more news, views and feature cars. We will be reaching out around the world with reports from the UK, USA, France and Sweden, all planned for issues 2 and 3. Remember, this is just the beginning, an indication of some of the directions the video magazine can take. If you have ideas for features or items for the future, let us know. In the meantime, we look forward to your company again on Channel VW Issue 2, available June 18th. This is where we take a regular look at the magazines available on the market today.
Oh, look. Mm.
And next issue we'll be looking at some more.
Hey, just a minute. Keith Soon Fan Club here. We forgot the competition. You forgot the Channel VW, haven't you? You see, the thing is, somewhere in the programme, in one of the car features, somebody says something very misleading. Well, actually, it's a bloody lie, really. But if you spot it, send your answers to this address, the one written down here, and you could win yourself a free year subscription to Channel VW. You forgot, didn't you, Channel VW? Any road up, I got you out of trouble. What would you do without me, Channel VW? We want Sue me, we want Sue me.